but in particular for being here for this particular conversation. Sir, only 41 municipalities got clean audits.
Look, it reflects what we all already know, because we've seen poor service delivery in a number of municipalities. We can talk about Joburg, but it's right across the country, smaller towns, rural areas and so on. It's been an ongoing problem. I have the biggest sympathy for Tsakani Maluleka, the AG. Every year she gives us a very similar report, and every year there's been very little increase, very little improvement. So there's no big surprise here. There's no consequence management in those councils. She raises the issues, the findings year after year, and we've watched this over the years because we have an interest in good governance. Yeah. And it's been very depressing to watch the AG every year give the same report.
I mean, we've got some 150 odd that are teetering on collapse. One would actually ask the question, what's the point then if year after year the Auditor General comes up with these reports and yet absolutely nothing changes?
Well, as we know, with a lot of the state capture we've had, a lot of the corruption we've had, there's very little consequence management. There are leaders, there are mayors, there are executive managers of these councils, there are senior staff, and for people who have been caught with their hand in the cookie jar or giving tenders to their friends and family and cousins and so on, very little actually ever happens, and so the people continue to do it. The patronage networks are deep. We thought we got out of state capture, after the Zuma era. Unfortunately, it's continued, sometimes even metastasized. It's all over the show. It's very difficult for anyone to stop, and maybe I understand why the president said that. Yeah. The frustration levels are high. I mean, I've grown up and born in Johannesburg. And just to see the city getting worse and worse over the years, the potholes, the sewage, the lack of water in taps, it's very frustrating.
I mean, one would say that if we want to talk about consequence management, one way that the electorate could get involved in consequence management is how they vote in the upcoming local government election. Correct.
That is the one thing, and obviously we seem to be in a coalition kind of era. There's very little chance of outright winners anymore. Yeah. So I think people have to learn to work together. A lot depends on the skills of the officials in the council. Now, if you're appointed in a particular position but you don't have this qualification or the skills or the competence to carry out your duty,